second time. I'm just getting all the screens up on my side so I can see all the chats. The emotes in the Twitch chat.
Nice.
There he is.
Yo. So I just got back in the house.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Shit.
I just walked in the house.
God damn.
I am so sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, it just says it will start soon. I ain't started yet.
For sure.
I just have everyone can hear
I was
our
with
voices
family.
right now, which is kind of funny. But it just says stream will start.
Yeah.
soon.
For sure. I was with fam.
I did not know we could do this.
I was with fam. And then it was like, yo, I gotta get home at 9. Or before 9. And then they just now. So
No, I know that. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
oh my God. Eesh.
All right, we're gonna start in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey, sorry, this is all wobbly. I just need to adjust this window capture really quick so you guys are actually in the screen. Wonderful. Hey, how's it going, y'all? How are you two doing?
There we go.
What up there?
Doing good on this fine Tuesday evening in July.
Yeah.
This steamy July
Yeah.
evening.
Good. I'm glad.
Pretty good.
Let's see.
I just love seeing. I keep looking over to look at the stream. Like I love the little working with the logo and everything.
Yeah. I'm like really lagging behind right now, and I don't like that. That's not good. Are you? Yeah, Dan, we're good. You can hear us all, though. I mean, I know we could hear us in the beginning. That's cool, but I don't know. I wasn't lagging earlier. Now I am like crazy. So this is fun.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Technology.
we're just gonna start it, and we're gonna move on. We got 8 people watching us. Hey, what up, Jason? How's it going? I play Fortnite with Jason, so he's a good dude.
Yeah, was Fortnite good? I've never
I love
played.
it actually.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's all right.
It's little kids say that it's too easy or something, or like I don't know. It doesn't matter. Hey Trevor, how's it going?
Everybody shouting out
Yeah.
in the chat.
All right, so thank you everybody for being on this live stream here, watching the live stream. This is an album review live stream, so we're going to be listening to some music, and it's all music that people requested. I'm Shannon, and my co-host is Seven Whales. Also Mango Hennessy, and today we decided that
No,
he was once a what was it, Gerber?
I was once Gerber Mango. No,
Yeah,
Hennessy.
Gerber Mango.
Because
Gerber
Yeah, so
Mango.
that's like, you know,
No
Gerber
Hennessy.
baby food, because when he was young, he was younger, so it's like baby, you know, like, so Gerber Mango. Like a picture, like we saw a picture of Gerber Mango food.
It's
Yeah,
just a young lad. Just a young lad without
yeah,
Hennessy.
right.
That's
So
it.
yep,
That's the
mango
tale.
flavored Gerber Mango.
That is my origin story.
Our special guest on the stream tonight is the one and the only Dave Levy, right? That's how you say your last name?
Levy. It's okay. Nobody
Levy.
gets it right. Nobody
Levy.
gets it right. See that's why I didn't make my stage name just my name, and I go by
Okay.
Maestro. That's why I did that. Just to
I'm
avoid
just
the
calling
matter
you
entirely.
Maestro this whole night. I mean, with the
That'll
top
work.
hat, you're definitely a maestro, you know?
With the top
Well,
hat that's barely
Yeah.
in frame.
I'm happy you wore that.
Would you-
to be
Oh,
honest.
Would you do me a
absolutely.
favor, Maestro? Would you just go down a little bit? You don't have to stay here the whole time. I just want everyone to see how tall your hat is.
There we go. Hold up. There we go. To get an idea of how there we go. Now it's
Well,
in
yeah,
frame.
I would go down even further. Just like show everybody, like, look how big my hat is.
My chair will not go. I have to get on the floor at this
Yeah.
point. Like, my chair will not go any
So,
longer.
Maestro, could you please explain to everybody why the heck you call yourself Maestro?
So, I'm classically trained as a musician, and being as such in high school, I got the opportunity to go to a place called Interlaken, where I studied composition. While I was at Interlaken, I always liked to conduct any of the ensembles that would allow it, so I earned the nickname Maestro. However, Maestro is a very it's a big deal if you're called Maestro. So to make sure that like people didn't think I was trying to like get in on anybody or like say I was more than I am, I added the 3 where the E was, so to make it a bit more like not as serious. And it stuck. I've had that name since 2008, 2009.
Wow.
So I've had it for a minute. And I've always just kind of played it up with the mustache and the top hat, the vest. I even have. I can never wear it, but I even do have.
Oh my God.
monocle. I can't get it in. It's too
No,
hot out.
I
It's
did
too
not know
sweaty.
you
I
had
can't get it in. It's not gonna happen, y'all. I don't know. That's how Maestro came to be. That was the idea, and the whole essence of Maestro is to dress really fancy, like almost to a ludicrous amount, but then just get lit and go completely against what fancy and like dressy is against. So like imagine like everybody like in tuxedos, but you're just blasting like 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what 2 Chainz would want, right? Tuxedos
Right.
and blasting.
And
his music.
sometimes he wears 4.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what he would want actually. I have no idea.
But what is the 3 have a significance, or is it just?
it was the 3 is actually, so if you look at my logo in the, I have to look at the screen, in the lower left hand of my portrait, it's not actually a 3, that's actually a C clef or an alto clef.
Nerd. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it is the nerdiest move. You want to know how nerdy that is? I named my dog Alto.
Yes.
She's chilling back there on the
Wow.
couch, right there. There she is.
You know, I would say there's like a lot of people in like that I met in music school that definitely are extra nerdy, you know what I mean? And but I feel
You gotta be to go to school for
I
music.
feel
in the
like
first
you're the
place.
best kind of music school nerdy, so that's good.
Well, there was always like in music school. It was always because in any like traditional music school, there's a lot of like elitism. Like you only play the classical music. This is meant for the purest of the pure. And I always hated that.
Yeah, me too.
So I always tried to flip it on its head. In fact, even in grad school when I was getting my master's, I wrote a big symphony, and each movement was based off of a different genre that classical would typically look down upon. So I had a movement that was based on hip hop, a movement that was based on pop, and a movement that was based off of EDM. And the orchestra loved playing it, but there were some old farts in the audience who I remember going to my thesis defense, and one of my professors was like, "Well, it's not anything groundbreaking. I mean, this is all traditional orchestration." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't have the violins ripping out their strings and the tuba players screaming into their tubas. Okay, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not my jam."
Dude, I studied classical voice. And
Yeah, yes, you know.
yeah, those are some of the biggest divas of divas in that world, man. That was something else. I didn't really fit into that, you know. I would say I was a pretty decent like classical vocalist for not being like a classical major, classical vocal major. You know, I was music therapy, so like.
Right, and you just had to have an instrument
Exactly.
to perform
That wasn't
on.
bad for that.
Yo, they didn't ever make you do any like the 20th century stuff, did they?
To be honest, I don't think so. Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah.
That stuff is hard to
Nah,
listen
I
to.
didn't do that.
Those in the watching this, if you want to go have a time, go look up oh god, what's a good one? Go look up Piero Lunaire and have fun with that.
Oh.
Hopefully, we're not reviewing
Well,
that
nobody
today.
picked it, so
Oh, we got,
Good.
we got.
I'm
nobody did
sticking
that
with
one.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Hey Dan, how's the audio on them now? Is it like?
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where I just don't think Zoom is gonna work anymore, guys. Unless I can just, I don't know. I need to figure out something. But we'll see. I know. Who knows? I feel like I could do better. I can do better than this. I need to do more research. Oh, it's still screwy on your guys' end. That's not good. Is it like, can you like not hear what they're saying, Dan?
Oh, checking the
Yeah,
audio
my audio's
Yeah,
probably.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Co-
Your audio's fine from what
he
I'm
says
hearing.
constant rhythmic cutting out whenever you guys talk. So it's definitely like
Yeah,
Zoom,
it's stutter
Zoom
from what I'm
capture
gathering.
thing. All right. Let's see if I can adjust something.
No,
Hey, can you guys talk? Say something.
Yo,
Yes,
here we are talking out here.
yes, we are here.
The audio. The audio just can't take this July heat. And you know what? I don't blame it.
Me either.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
I will tell you right now, this getup not summer friendly.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I don't know.
I'm glad I have AC. I'm gonna say that. This all this right here. This is just heat. This is just heat. This is a giant steam
Yeah,
pipe of heat.
Side note: you should put AC inside of the maestro.
Yeah.
Yo, not gonna lie, like from here to here, it's empty. I've thought about putting
Hey,
stuff in there.
I'm gonna restart the Zoom call. I'll be on the stream still, guys, but I'm gonna restart the Zoom call. So go ahead and just like join in just like a second. Like, so I'm gonna exit out
Gotcha.
because I want everybody to be able to hear what you're saying. Because I just listened to what Dan said, totally like inaudible. So
All right, it's all good.
sorry, guys. I will be on here. They'll be on here in just a second.
All right, take two.
Dan says, take a dab or something while you wait.
All about that branding.
Yeah.
Coming from the man who named his dog after his logo.
There we go. Okay. Gallery view. Just gotta wait till he joins in here. Perfect.
All right, I sounded fine from what the snippet that I heard. All right, I sounded fine from what the snippet that I
Oh,
heard.
dude, I just heard yours too. Yeah.
All right, I sounded fine. Up.
Yep. I think that's better. I hope that solved some issues here. Well,
Dope.
All right.
there we go. That looks better.
All right. So back at it again with the
With the white vans.
with the. I didn't even mean to do that.
I have to every time.
Back at it again with the white vans.
So,
You got to remember
Maestro,
the class.
I have a question for
Okay.
you.
Yo,
What school did you go to? Where
I did my undergrad at the University of
okay,
Michigan.
where'd you do your grad? Did you
Yep.
do grad?
I did my graduate school at the Longy School of Music. It's a small conservatory in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right next to Harvard.
Holy shit.
So you could feel the
Oh my
entitlement.
God.
Like, no, I'm not even kidding. So, like, me and my friends, we would go out, and oh god, if she's in the chat, Jordan, if you're in the chat, you can corroborate this. But we were walking down, and we were like passing by what must have been like a Harvard frat mixer or something. It literally looks like they took the same white guy and just copy pasted, same suit, same hairstyle, same look. Yo, you could feel the "Do you know who my father
Yeah.
is?"
Was it?
It
like,
was.
so that's like Boston.
Boston.
So
Yep.
you were in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I lived in Boston for 3 years.
Whenever I think of Boston, I think of The Social Network for some reason. Was it anything like that?
Oh yeah, good old Zuckerberg.
Why not?
Good old Zuck.
Yeah, that's what I think
Oh,
of when I
yeah.
think of Boston, like colleges.
Right.
Yeah.
Boston. Yeah. Boston College, Boston University,
Yeah.
New England Conservatory, MIT.
Oh damn! Boston is like very studious.
Yo, they got like 100 colleges or something. It's
Yo,
something
crazy.
It's something ludicrous. Emerson's out there for all the theater people.
Wow.
God, it's a lot of students out there. It's a lot of students.
Going to the East Coast
Mm.
in general is just very weird because it's just like very United States. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the freedom trails out there, and
Mhm.
Everything.
yep, it's very United States.
That's a good way to put it.
You know, I don't know. 13 colonies were over there. That's where it all started.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
True that.
Colonialism
Yep.
and shit over there, you know? So it's
God,
weird.
but-
It's weird over in Boston and over in New
Yep.
York and
But I,
all that stuff.
Yeah, but I got my master's out there. They were doing a buy one get one free. So I actually have 2 master's degrees.
Wow, buy
Oh.
one, get one free.
I always make that joke. That joke is really more real than I want it to
You
be.
got a BOGO.
And you BOGO master's degree.
Well, Well, it was like they just partnered with Bard College at the time. So I have a degree from the Laundry School of Music and Bard
Yeah.
College. The only difference is one's in Latin. Like not the major, but like literally the text is in Latin.
Wow.
So I couldn't tell you what it says.
Shout out to Bard College.
Shout out to Bard College. The
Well,
College of Bards.
Okay, you're working right now too, technically, right? Or not, I mean, not like in the pandemic situation, really. Probably not. But as far as like where do you work at?
Okay, so I work. I am a professor of songwriting, music theory, and music industry studies at the Detroit Institute of Music Education. Shout out to Dime. If any of my students are in the chat, shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying your summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a professor. And I also help with the performance venue at Dime, the Underground. You can see me doing sound or helping managing events down there. I also fix and tune all the pianos in the school.
Oh, wow. So you tune pianos? That's good to know. Can I recommend you to people?
Absolutely. Work has been non-existent for piano tuning
One of
lately.
my students, she couldn't really get her piano tuned because of all the stuff that's going on, obviously.
Right.
And she finally just was fed up, and she's like, she kind of like just got out of her house for it and just had some guy like tune her piano.
It's a lot. I can almost guarantee that I'm like the youngest piano technician in this part of the country because I don't know who else is learning how to do this.
Yeah.
I own 4 pianos.
That's great. So you got tuning all the time at your house.
It used to be, yes. They're not all in my apartment, dear God. I have a Rhodes back there. I got an upright over there. I have a player piano that's back in West. I got a player piano that's back home, and I got back with my family, and a grand piano that is also back with my family.
Wow, that's a lot of pianos.
Yeesh.
Yep, and if I get another one, my girlfriend is not only going to break up with me, but divorce me somehow before marriage. She has said that. If she's in the chat, she will say that.
Hey, pianos are, they're cool.
It was funny. She came in for our anniversary, and she sees the nice table, and then she sees a piano that I just got, and she just goes, "What is that?" And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wait, what was your primary instrument in school again?
I started off back in the day as a drummer, a percussionist.
Okay, cool.
But then I ended up switching to like more of a conducting. So I was actually classically trained, and I know how to conduct an orchestra.
Okay.
There she is in the chat. Very, very true.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember what I was gonna say. I'm totally blanking here.
But in addition to that, I'm oddly enough, just like everyone you've had on here, I am also a DJ.
Yeah.
I'm a very different DJ. I tend to specialize in mashups, so I'm a very different style of DJ than Seven Whales is. I got my start. I was trained by a guy in Ann Arbor named DJ Monk years ago, and then I just kept up with it, and eventually I just started doing parties, and then it blew up from there. Although ever since I started teaching, it's been hard because you don't want to teach from like 9 to 5 and then go to a gig that's 8 to 2, which I've done before, and boy, I was falling asleep
You're
at the decks.
The third DJ we've had on the show.
Well, it's not my primary thing. My primary thing is a I don't know, I guess a music educator. And not just in school. I also do a YouTube channel. So if anybody from my YouTube audience is here, shout out to you. I know a lot of you are from out of the States. So if you're watching this live, boy, God bless you.
Okay, you need to explain everybody right now what the heck your YouTube channel is all about, because it's kind of ironic that you're on this show.
So I started off doing the YouTube, doing a show called Pop Analysis, where I basically break down hit songs, and I actually transcribe them note for note, and I show you the transcriptions. But the other show that I do is called Record Rundown, where I review every newly charting album in classical jazz, hip-hop, R&B, EDM, pop, and rock every week.
Wow.
So By the way, I actually looked it up for this so I could break the news on this live stream. I counted all the albums that I've been reviewing, I think since 2016, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Would you hazard a guess as to how many albums I reviewed?
Since when?
300.
Since like 2016, probably 2017, I think that's when I started the show.
Wait.
I'm gonna guess like 450.
No. 20. Okay. 720.
720.
Yep.
You ready for this?
Yep.
1,104 albums as of today.
That's a lot of
sure.
listening, man.
That's a lot of music.
I think I've only for the past 3 or 4 years, I think I've only ever listened to an album once, just because I've had other things to listen to.
Yeah. Do you want to plug your YouTube channel really quick?
Oh yeah, I can plug all my stuff. youtube.com/Maestro Studios. Remember the E is a 3. Here I can post that in the chat here, yeah. Put it in there here. So YouTube, if I can type correctly. youtube.com/Maestro Studios. That's where you're gonna get all of everything that I do. Go ahead and click that link in the Twitch chat.
And everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, and you want to go check out his link there. It's in the Twitch chat. You can just go to my Twitch page. It's twitch.tv/white_b_.
Right here. You know what? I think I can. I got all of them up. I'm just gonna post it everywhere. That's just.
Hey, why not?
Post that everywhere.
Plug yourself, Dave.
There we go. There's YouTube. There we go. There it is, and then we'll just put it right there. There we go. Everywhere. Yeah, but I also, again, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's all Maestro Studios. I got a Bandcamp. I actually make music as well as review it. Bandcamp. I forget if it's Maestro or Maestro Studios. I don't know any of my own links. I'm not used to pimping myself out.
What do you mean? You're wearing that hat, bro.
Maestro.bandcamp.com. MaestroStudios.com. I got our own website. I'm also a producer and engineer, so if y'all need some beats or if y'all need some mixing and mastering, let me know. I've mastered everything from chiptunes to orchestras,
Sick.
which is a very different thing. But yeah, check out. I've released music. I have 2 singles out right now for an album. I was expecting to do this at the end of the stream, so I am not.
I just discovered what chiptunes was like pretty much like within the past like year-ish, because like my bass player makes chiptune music, and that's like what his project is, like his own separate project. And my boyfriend just started drumming for him too, and it's pretty crazy. Like they have a lot of crazy timing stuff and all that. It's exciting to watch.
Right. Yo, if you ever see chiptunes artists perform live, they perform it on the original hardware. One of my friends, DJ McGranaman, is a chiptune artist, and he performs on like a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Like those are his decks. His decks
That's cool.
is a Game Boy.
That's cool. I think like Stefan like transferred all of
Wait.
his stuff just to his iPad, like just kind of pre-recorded
Wait.
everything in it.
Oh, but what's up?
I hated to cut you off. What is his name?
DJ. Oh, his actual name?
No, like what was his DJ name again?
DJ McGranaman.
Yo, I think I've seen him before.
Yo, yeah.
It was somebody. This is funny. It was somebody at 37th Shield in Detroit. One day, like in the past couple years, DJing and playing music or beats like off of a Game Boy that he somehow hooked up, and it slapped. Like
yeah.
Yo.
I remember I was the mastering engineer on his he did a mashup cover of Nicki Minaj's Starships and Psy's Gangnam Style. So if you want to be nostalgic.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shout out to
Hey,
Gangnam Style.
Val's in the chat. What up, Val? How you doing?
Val.
So Val said 8-bit Bjork. So I think she might be referring to like Stefan and like my bass player, but he did like a 8-bit Bjork set with his like now wife. They were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but
Oh,
yeah,
congratulations.
they just had a kid too. Like, and Stefan just like we socially distanced. I got to see like the little baby from afar. She was so cute. Shout out to Stefan. But yeah, they did a friggin' Bjork 8-bit set, and that was insane, dude. That was crazy.
It's like you just make a song and then you take your Bit Crusher plugin and just 100% everything.
How does that work?
Crazy.
Can you explain a little bit more of that?
So, from what if you're going the route that I'm familiar with, basically what you do is you pretty much just go into so my buddy DJ McGranna, man, the way he does it is he'll go into like the actual Game Boy like operating system, like its hardware and data, and plug in note per note, and it would play it. It's like for all the producers out there, it's like if you just pulled up like the MIDI roll and you just click in each individual note one by one.
Wow.
And it's fascinating to watch him do live. So if you ever get the chance to see an 8-bit an 8-bit artist perform, it is a trip, especially if you can see what all of they're doing, because literally it just looks like they're doing this. It's like, here, I'll grab my iPod. It's like they're just doing this the whole time. It's weird. It's weird, but it's fascinating.
Yo, facts.
But it's a good time. So and mastering for that sort of thing is weird. It's a lot of bass boosting.
Yeah.
Turns out Game Boy doesn't have a great subwoofer because it doesn't.
Yeah,
exist.
it doesn't sound like it. You know.
Right.
I could have told you that.
Yeah.
But and orchestras, it's funny mastering for them, because the whole point of mastering for like that stuff is that they're not supposed to notice, like the dynamics are key in that, so you can't put any sort of EQ on that.
Yeah.
But then it's like somebody dropped their drumstick in the middle of a very quiet part, so you're sitting there for 4 hours trying to like isolate that and remove it from the actual audio. I told a buddy of mine, it's like, yo, if you send me another thing like this, like just don't like that one drummer, give him a day off that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I kind of learned a little bit how to do everything. Like I teach everything from like how to write a good hook to basically like how to negotiate a contract. I was a business manager for a music group called Speechless out in Boston for a period of time where I had to negotiate contracts pretty much all day.
That's crazy.
And you know, I've worked with them on like, you know, what songs should be singles, what songs sound good, like what should I take, what royalties should I get on this and everything. I taught this past semester online the domestic music market, about how all U.S. sales work and the history of that.
That's a lot of information.
Oh, and copyright. Copyright is almost a specialty of mine.
Tell them about the tale, Dave.
Pretty much every video I've ever uploaded has been copyright claimed, almost without fail. I might even go on record to say that out of every YouTube channel, I have the most copyright hits. But I have fought every single one of them to large extremes too. I think Sony has had 5 separate opportunities. Like Sony Music Entertainment has had the opportunity to take me to court 5 times.
Wow.
But they haven't. I mean, okay, really quick. I consulted a legal professional before I took it that far. So don't do that without good legal advice.
Help me consult all of the streams that get copyrights when I post them again. I'm just kidding. I don't really feel like doing that.
I looked at the last album review stream. Every song got copyright claimed on that.
Just they get blocked out. I'm just glad I'm not getting kicked down. You know what I mean?
No, you're not getting blocked. They're just gonna take all the money you would ever get from that video.
I'm not gonna. Thank you. I'm not really asking for any monies right now.
Right, but that's what it's all about. And copyright law, as far as like music is concerned, oddly enough, has pretty much been shaped by Mickey Mouse, and that's the short version.
Yeah.
But it's a nightmare. Because I'm doing reviews, so I qualify for fair use. So all my specialty in music law is really based around the idea of fair use. And it's a lot of people get the idea wrong. I'm not going to go into it on the stream, otherwise we'll be here, and this will turn into a lecture.
Hey.
And this is my summer vacation, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a mess. It's a lot of people. It's written very vaguely on purpose, so people can debate it one way or the other.
Right.
And again, I'm not a legal professional. I just had to learn about this because I was confronted with it so many times.
What are the 3 things that you teach at Dime then?
Music industry studies, which is essentially music business, music theory, so all the fancy chords and notes, and songwriting, how to make a
That's
good
awesome.
song.
So as far as like songwriting goes, I'm a songwriter myself.
Mhm.
I wanna hear about, like, what are some of like the beginning steps like you take your students through, because obviously Dan just told me that the audio is doing the same thing. It's not quite as bad as it was before, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, kind of like what's the introductory, like,
Songwriting 101. It's very difficult because so many students come from so many different backgrounds to kind of just break it down to some key things. But honestly, like, the biggest advice I have is, like, sit there with a guitar or piano or whatever instrument you're comfortable with, or even your own voice, or even if you're a rapper, just kind of sit with yourself, get a beat going, and just start strumming something, playing something. Just start saying words. They can be completely nonsensical, but start doing something to get the juices flowing. And if you do something long enough, it'll turn into something good. And the biggest advice I have is, because especially for songwriters, stereotypically they will hate everything they ever do because it won't be perfect. You have to get all the, like, if you're just starting off and you're not liking how your songs are turning out, still complete them. Absolutely, because you never know what somebody might think. And you have to get all the bad songs out of the way before you can start making good ones. There was an interview with Ed Sheeran, and he plays a recording of himself when he first started singing, and boy, does he sound terrible. But he had to start to get better. So my first advice for any aspiring songwriters: start doing it. Don't just like, try to get as much. You have to start doing it. Start making things.
Just do it.
And yeah, some of them are going to be bad, but do it long enough, some of them might turn to be good.
Hey, Seven Whales, aka Gerber Mango. Gerber baby. What have you experimented with songwriting at all?
I have.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if you like made your own
start
beats
doing
and
it.
stuff.
I know.
Or, like,
I do want to get into making music still, but it's so one of those things that I feel like you have to, like, sit down and, like, just constantly mess with. And I haven't had time really to do that yet.
Yeah.
It's because it's always been, like, work.
Right.
And then back to doing DJ stuff and work and DJ stuff. So I'll get to it eventually. But I love it. I love hearing y'all talk about it, and I love, like, seeing you and everybody just work on it so passionately. It's just dope. So it's always inspiring to see.
The audio is apparently really bad again. I'm just gonna do the same thing we did before, if that's cool with y'all.
Hey, if it works.
What?
Sorry about the audio, guys. Hopefully I can get this sorted out. I don't know. It's very frustrating. I don't know. I just don't think Zoom is what I need to do here. Hey, there's me twice. How do you like them apples? I'm sorry that the audio is bad, True. Oh, we got one of the people in.
There we go. We're back at it for a third
Let me
time.
know if Dave's voice is working out, you guys.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Dave.
Can't
I can
hear
you
me?
now.
Okay.
Yo.
Let me know if this is better, y'all. Go ahead and talk a little bit, y'all.
Yo, we're here. We're talking. We out here. We're having a time. The clip that I just heard of myself sounds good.
Cool.
Detroit basketball.
Coming from the guy who was in the commercial.
Oh, facts.
Never have I actually sought out a commercial before.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for posting that so I could watch
that was cool.
it.
Do you want to share with the world what happened, JR?
So recently, me and Sam Moriquai was featured in a 30-second spot for the Detroit Tigers on Fox Sports Network. Came out yesterday. They were highlighting all the amazing things that people were doing, quarantine. Still doing. And we were one of the 3. So
That's
that's dope.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Sam, what up?
We just happy that
Sam saying hey in the Facebook chat. What up, Sam?
What it do, baby?
There he is.
So,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Who were the other 2 people that were in that? Do you remember who they were?
One was the Detroit Bus Company,
Okay.
which was dope because they started making sanitizer. I don't know why that became a brain fart. They started making sanitizer through the quarantine. And the other one was Kaylin Waterman. She had the Curbside. Yep.
Yeah, she's doing some cool stuff for sure.
Oh, I'm proud of everybody. It's so dope.
So, Maestro
Alright.
here. How have you been holding up during this quarantine and COVID business?
Well, I was going to release an album this year before COVID happened. So I've just had time to, all the music is done. It's just lyrics and vocals, the easiest part. So I've been working on that. Like I said, I dropped 2 singles, one in March, one in June. Got another one coming out in September. So I've been doing that. Obviously, albums have not stopped being released. We've had a slump this year. The summer's been slow, but for obvious reasons. Because this is normally when everyone's touring. But then, Taylor Swift goes and drops an album, and then that happens. So then, that blew up. I get press releases, so I get advance notice of when things are going to chart. Not all of them, but the big things. But that's been a thing.
Wow.
So the YouTube stuff hasn't slowed down. In fact, I have 2 videos going up this week. One on Thursday, pop analysis of DaBaby's Rockstar featuring Roddy Ricch. Finished the transcription this morning.
Wow.
Roddy Ricch just going crazy with some of his rhythms. And then we got Record Rundown. I got 2 albums that I'm reviewing. Oliver Tree's Ugly is Beautiful and The Chicks, formerly Dixie Chicks, Gaslighter are the ones I'm reviewing this week.
Gaslighter's a pretty cool
So hopefully
song.
nobody...
I like that song a lot.
Yo, there's some joints on there. The Namesake track's pretty good. March March is a good one. It's also a very emotional album.
Yeah, I bet.
They coming out hitting hard. But yeah, last week was a big one. There were 5 albums I went through that week. But so hopefully, I'm hoping that the albums that pop up this week I have not listened to.
Yeah.
A song that's not one of the 1,104 albums that I've already reviewed. Yo, I want to have a review off with Needle Drop, Anthony Fantano.
Ooh.
I want to challenge him for internet's busiest music nerd. I want to challenge him for that title. You heard it here first. Somebody go tweet at Needle Drop at Anthony Fantano.
Yeah.
Tell him to pull up.
And we'll have him on the show too. Yeah.
Have him battle. Yo, Dave.
Oh,
what got you into classical music? And also, you said that you didn't like the purists didn't like
the elitism behind it. Yeah.
So it made you go against the grain, also.
So the initial start into wanting to study classical music actually came. I was in high school band, and this was probably about junior or sophomore year. I was the percussionist. I was playing the timpani, which are the big tuned drums in the back. Bum boom, bum boom, those. And it was a piece called Jupiter. Jupiter, the Bringer of Jollity, which is a section from Gustav Holst's The Planets, early 20th century piece. And that piece gave the melody to the timpani. So I'm back there just dun 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 dun, and it was lit. I was having a great time. And that's, I think, what got me my initial start, and to the point where I transcribed that entire symphonic suite note for note because I'm crazy. As far as the elitism goes, I was actually part of said elitism until about freshman, sophomore year of college, where I took a musicology class with Professor Mark Clegg. And the opening lecture was him playing Jimi Hendrix's version of the Star Spangled Banner.
My dad always tells me about when that was on TV when he was a kid. And oh my God, I hear this story probably once a year. But yes, keep going.
And that was the start of it. And he basically was going on record. It was a class about the history of American music, all the way back from William Billings and Revolutionary era America to doing a formal analysis of Ayaz's replay. Shawty like a melody in my
What?
head.
Really?
And that's what got me out of my elitism, was the idea that all forms of music from an academic's perspective should be treated equally. Eminem's Kill Shot should be just as heavily analyzed as Beethoven's Third Symphony and everything in between. So you should be able to walk into a library with a score to a Brahms symphony and look at it studious just as well if you come in and are listening to Pretty Boy Swag by Soulja Boy on loop, picking it apart note by note.
When
and that's kind of
with JR. Oh, sorry, you can keep talking.
Oh, sorry.
But that's that's kind of what the whole maestro persona is about. Is educating everybody on all forms of music, which is why Record Rundown goes through all the major genres and not just the top 5 on the Billboard 200.
Yeah, okay. As far as like the whole elitism thing in the classical music world and like the school world and all of that stuff, like I feel you, because I mean I studied classical voice, and honestly it was the attitudes of the people going into those programs, number one, was just baffling to me, to be honest with you. Like, there was a lot of attitude. There was a lot of know-it-all stuff going on. I'm talking about just the students. And the professors, I'm honestly embarrassed for most classical music professors. And I'm sorry, classical professors. Like, but y'all are buttheads for the most part, and it's it's a bummer, dude. It's just like you're not freaking, you know, Jesus Christ or God or whatever, you know what I mean?
I was going to ask, they have that God-like.
Oh, they absolutely do. Oh, in the University of Michigan especially, but they have
that narcissistic mentality, like please.
I remember I got a comment on one of my pieces of music saying that my music upset him, and I was just like, yo, good.
Jeez, like,
get upset. And that was in grad school.
Yeah, that's in grad school too, which is also upsetting, because it's like I understand following like these fundamentals when it comes to especially like theory classes where you're trying to learn like these, you know, counterpoint concepts, like, you know, proper harmony concepts, all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, you're teaching this material, and obviously we have to follow that material for this particular class. But when it comes to, like, straight up, like, composition and stuff and trying to, like, branch out, you know what I mean? Like, I think it should be a different story. And, like, I understand, like, for the, like, stylistically, if you're trying to, like, you know, perform, like, a certain way in the classical music world, like, as far as, like, those guidelines go. But, like, I got so much beef just for my attitude in music school because I was so laid back. Like, people did not like that.
Yeah. Right. So, it's welcome to the album review stream where we dunk on classical academia. No, but I've always done my best to try to bridge everything together. Like, when I first taught my first music appreciation class, I started off teaching, like, you know, medieval chanting, but I went all the way up to, at the time, Kendrick Lamar's Damn and everything in between. And in fact, if you want to learn everything there is about music history, I did a mashup of 500 songs throughout music history. Yep, there it is. But if you check out my YouTube page, I think this was the end of the year video last year. I did a mashup of 500 songs, all from across musical history, in chronological order.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
So
the album stream didn't see that.
Man, when To Pimp a Butterfly came out, like, I was in, like, probably, like, the middle of, like, my, you know, undergrad at Eastern studying classical voice, you know, and I was, like, miserable. And I remember just, like, putting that album on, like, walking out of my, like, class when I was done for the day, and I was like, thank God. It was, like, the first thing I, like, heard, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, I need this right now.
Side note, that is my favorite Kendrick Lamar album.
Too.
Because I'm a huge fan of his, but everybody who worked on that album, from, like, Terrace Martin to Thundercat, I'm a mad big fan of, so it's like,
right.
You just picked every format of hell fucking yeah.
Oh, yo.
Album.
Speaking of Terrace Martin, have you listened to Dinner Party?
Yo,
Yo, with Robert Glasper, Ninth Wonder, and Kamasi Washington. Yo, that topped the jazz charts last week.
Yo, it's so good.
I mean, with that lineup, how can it it can only be good.
Facts. They mesh so well too. It's dope.
And Felix is the vocalist on a lot of those tracks.
Yeah.
And it's just, check out, everybody listen to Freeze Tag because it's a vibe, but it will also educate you.
Have you as far as like your jazz background, what's that like as far as like your educational side of things?
At the University of Michigan, I was the drummer in the jazz in one of the Pop's jazz band, which Sam was in as well. And I got to be the director of that my senior year. But a lot of jazz. It was a lot of jazz history, a lot of jazz theory, how to use like harmonic extensions, ninths, 11ths, 13ths, 2/5 substitutions, tritone substitutions. So you can just at some point you can just turn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star into something out of Robert Glasper and Terrace Martin or Herbie Hancock or even like John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Wynton Marsalis. Yeah. But and just all of that. And even if you want to go super far, you can even go all the way to Ornette Coleman. But if you go too far into Ornette Coleman, you're going to have a time. Check out How Melodics by Ornette Coleman. And let me know how you feel after that. You won't feel great.
That's
I can tell you that.
Like in the academia jazz world too, that is kind of like iffy, I work at community music school in Detroit, and I teach like private lessons there. And like Marion Hayden, who's a bass player, we all had like a staff meeting, and she talked about like the staff meeting and stuff, and like she talked in the staff meeting and stuff. And she was just like, I don't know if you guys see this, but like, I'm one of the instructors here, and I'm like one of the only like black women that is like an instructor here, and she said, I think one thing we need to like incorporate in like the like educational world when it comes to like jazz music is like more of like the community and like more of like, where this is coming from, like within the community, and like instead of like having like that kind of like weird like elitism in like the jazz educational world too,
Yeah. And it's all the genres of music seem to be following a pattern. The first happened with classical, happened with jazz, and it's starting to happen with rock right now. Once the genre exists for long enough, it starts to sneak its way into academia. At the university level, you can take classes in rock, in the Beatles and stuff like that. But you will find if you look at all of the professors, and I say this, as one, if you look at all the professors who teach said things, you'll notice some very, very similar features.
Yeah.
And it's quite a disservice to it, especially considering that pretty much every major genre of music, minus classical, boy, did not come from white people.
No.
If you dig deep enough, they all have a very not white root.
Yeah.
And I do this when I teach history because when I do it, I try to teach the entire history. The amount of times I said, and then white people happened is a lot. Yeah. Like it happened with rock. It happens with hip hop. Happens with EDM. Happened with pop.
Everything.
And it's just, it is fascinating. And I feel like a lot of people will only focus on one aspect of music history, but you really have to look at the entire thing from start to end. You can't just focus on one genre because then you're missing part of the story. Right. And then you're missing out on like George Gershwin, my favorite musician, period, is a great jumping point. Because back in the early 1920s, he wrote a piece called Rhapsody in Blue that successfully combined every major genre of the time, which was pop, jazz, and classical.
Song. She says it all the time.
Jazz, from the classical perspective, especially the American classical perspective, wasn't looked fondly upon. But there were artists and there were composers in Europe that were telling them it's like they're looking for the American sound. It's like, you have it. Look in the South. This blues that's coming out is truly the American sound. But the people in power did not like where that American sound was coming from. More importantly, who that American sound was coming from.
Crazy.
Go figure. Regardless, that's all I'm going to get into that. Educate yourselves. It is there. But I always this going back to a lighter subject. This always goes back to like what I like to say about myself, and I tell this to my students that you need to have one statement that will encapsulate your musical ideas in order to like basically sell yourself, and make you unique and stand out. And my claim to fame is that I always confidently say this is that this is extremely egotistic, but to say something like I know the most about music. Now, I did not say classical music. I did not say jazz. I did not say hip hop. I did not say production. I did not say music theory. I just said music because I pride myself on literally being a walking, talking encyclopedia of music. And anybody who's talked to me for any length of time can vouch for that. But I said encyclopedia, so I don't have all of the knowledge, but I have mid-level knowledge of essentially anything music.
You know where
related.
to find it too. You know.
Right, and I always know where to point people if they want a more in-depth explanation of any particular musical topic, because I know I'm an encyclopedia. I have sources that I can point you to if you want to dig deeper. But so I always pride myself on that. And the problem is I know way too many song lyrics, and anytime my girlfriend says anything similar to any song lyric I can think of, I will immediately say it. And she hates it.
Hey,
but
on a lighter note, Dave, how do you feel about even though this is hilarious, the internet saying that Beethoven was black? Did you see that?
Yo, real talk?
Yo,
I hope so. The classical world needs that right now.
Let's go.
They need that. I hope he is, and I hope we can find some proof.
I haven't heard about this. I also like.
No, this has been a thing long time standing.
Yep.
But because people have a history of whitewashing history. So, and there are various like little descriptors about like Beethoven's facial structure or his complexion or stuff, or his parentage, that he may not have been as white as all of the artists depict him. It's pretty much dismissed in most cases, but I do want somebody to genuinely look into this, and I really want Beethoven to be black.
Listen,
like a lot.
When quarantine happened, that was one of the first and guess what? Beethoven was black. I was like, for sure. I was waiting for somebody to have enough time to look up everything. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Dude, I'm looking at like an old school like portrait of the guy right now.
Yeah, it's typical. I can imagine the picture you're looking at.
And also, seeing as though you just said that they didn't like who the sound was coming for, maybe they did whitewash it because the sound was so good back in the day, but because it was coming from somebody who probably was, my great-great-grandfather, something like that, they were just like, oh, nah, we got to make him white.
Yeah.
But, shout out to my man.
If he's black, that's a game changer, dude. Beethoven's dope, dude. Like he had some cool shit.
That's just it. Beethoven being black should simultaneously both be a game changer and not at all.
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
His music Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is one of the most recognizable pieces of music on the face of the earth. And I hope they find he's black because it will teach people very important lessons about themselves, and we might learn a thing or two about some of those people in music academia. It would most certainly upend things, but at the same time, you have to remain. Beethoven is going to keep his place in history no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
change
here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Even like Clockwork Orange. Like think about that.
Yep.
That would flip around a little bit. They might have to make the movie again, or maybe not. They wouldn't have to. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
And Clockwork Orange. Shout out to you.
Classic.
Let me actually let's do the big reveal. Are you in for the big reveal?
I'm hoping.
All right.
I hope
So I'm gonna do a microphone drum roll. Can you guys hear
Okay.
that?
Yep.
Very subtle.
Could you hear the drum roll? All right. Microphone drum roll. I send it in a message to you guys, actually, what the actual albums are. But we are now. This is the time where we choose what album our friend Maestro, aka Dave, aka not Gerber Mango. Let's see. This is like the time that he's gonna, choose the album. So let me just pull him up here. Let me find.
I can knock out two almost immediately that I'm familiar with, so that I won't knock him out,
I gotta.
or that I'll knock him out.
Hold on,
So
just a second. Oh,
are
not
they on
yet.
screen? Okay.
Now they are. Here they are. They are revealed, and I'm going to go ahead and say them out loud so everybody can hear it and all that. We have Abracadabra by Jerry Paper. We got Mr. Hands by Herbie Hancock. And honestly, I don't know how to say Jacob Collier's. Jesse. Jacob Collier's album.
Jesse, it's a hard J.
Athena by Sudan Archives. Yeah, I'm really good at pronouncing words. And it's about our hearts. Double winter, and I don't know why I put double winters. It's double winter. I keep messing up the last option on this. Hold on, just a second.
Yo, that's just a trend now.
I
You
just
gotta
feel
do it
bad.
every
It's like a
week.
local artist. I don't want to freaking like mess up their name. You know what I mean?
True.
Okay. So I can already knock out Mr. Hands and Jesse. I am very familiar with Herbie Hancock's discography, and while I love listening to it, I'd be going in knowing what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna skip that one. Jacob Collier is every music theory person's wet dream.
Honestly, I mean, yeah.
I mean, no, I get why. The man did a song in G half sharp major, I
Yeah,
think.
the guy is a nut, but in the best of ways.
But also I've listened to Jesse. That was I think it was, I want to say, I believe that was Grammy nominated. I think it won. So I'm gonna skip Jacob Collier as well. I have heard of both Jerry Paper and Sudan Archives. Not terribly familiar with their bodies of work, but I've heard of them before.
Okay.
But the thing that sold me was you said Double Winter was a local artist. And if there's one thing as a top charting reviewer that I never get to do, it is review local artists. Woo. So I'm going to go with About Our Hearts.
All right. Let me just go message Morgan from Double Winter really quick and let her know.
I don't know. I know you guys play through the thing, but I always had a methodology about how I review albums, especially when I have 20 of them to do in 1 week. I would always listen carefully to the first track, the last track, any tracks that share the same name as the album, and then any singles. Oh, my dog has decided she's going to wake up and join the stream.
All right, so here's the deal. Everybody that's in the chat and on YouTube and all that stuff and all that, either we'll get through the whole album, we'll not get through the whole album. We don't know. It really depends on everybody's time crunch situation and everybody's opinion on the album. If you don't like it, then we don't have to listen to it, kind of thing. But we're going to go ahead and listen to some Double Winter. Local band. The drummer of this band actually did my album artwork, Morgan McPeak. Incredible visual artist. Yeah, so you guys ready to listen to this stuff? The name of the album is It's About Our Hearts. It's About Our Hearts. And the first song on it is called Jazz Dancer. Jazz Dancer. So, is everybody ready to rock?
Yeah,
awesome. stop right here. That apparently the sound is cutting again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just listened to it. Yeah.
Hold on, just a second. Let me All right, I'm going to do a little test. How does this sound? We'll start a little bit further back on the song.
Nowhere to run. We went away. Oh.
All right, can you hear me, Dave?
You're just fine.
All right, can you hear me, Dave? Does it sound better, Val? Let's try it again.
All right. So I'm just gonna buy it.
No one to blame until it stopped. You said I'm going, I can't take it no how. Can't take the roaming and the running around. You said wasting time, waste of time. You said find another way to survive. Oh baby, won't you try to handle my truth? Know when I woke up, oh I wish it was you. You said too late now, standing ground. You said give into that watching eye. Watching eye. Another morning and I wake up alive. I lay alone although I can't be surprised. You said it's too late now, love had died. You said find somebody else to disguise. Oh baby, won't you try to handle my pride? I felt strongest when I stood by your side. You said it's too late now, standing ground. You said give into that watching eye. Watching eye.
Hey, shout out to Double Winter, everybody. Woo!
Sheesh.
All right, Maestro, you're the first one to call the shots, my friend. What you think about it?
The opening, I like the mood change in the opening of it. That opening, I have it pulled up on my end as well, just so I can pull up cues if I
Yeah,
need
go
to.
for it.
But like the picking on the guitar, but that it sounds like a trumpet, but it might be
Like, the guitar sounds like a trumpet, or
no, the thing that plays behind the guitar in the very opening.
Oh yeah, that's let me.
That very opening lick.
Yeah, if you want to pull it up, you can. I can also play it on here.
I have it on mine. I'm just listening to it for my own, just to get ideas about it, just so I can pull it up and reference things correctly, and I'm not misremembering them. The clarity with the bass and the drums, like from a production standpoint, the master did a great job with that. It was very clear. You could like hear the bass theme, like it was extreme, and the drums were so tight.
Honestly,
like,
I'm gonna go ahead and like look up their information on, like, I'm pretty sure they would probably post that stuff on Bandcamp, I would assume.
I did find their Bandcamp, yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up too. As soon
Let's
as
see who recorded this.
That
What
was
local person recorded this here?
It's such a this opening track is such a great use of space, which is a weird thing to
It was
say for
Willis
music.
Sound and
But, like,
Ipsy, Ben Collins at Willis Sound. I know a lot of people that have worked with that guy there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I recognize that.
Nice, sounds great.
But yeah, it's just the use of space, the vocals. The vocals are a bit heavier on the reverb than you hear which is, it's very slight, but like in pop vocals, in most songs you don't get that much. But it's a nice touch. I'm getting like, just from the reverb alone, like I want to say like Florence and the Machine or Jefferson Airplane, which are two very different people from very different points in time.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But-
Those were the, like, top two artists I listened to in like high school, I would say. So Jefferson Airplane and Florence and the Machine. That's all, at some point in high school.
It's interesting because the guitar and the vocals sound far away, but the drums and bass sound very close. But it works.
Yeah.
And I also just like the name of the song.
Yeah, Jazz Dancer.
Jazz Dancer.
No, so that's a great opener. The slow introduction, then go right into it.
The production's pretty great on it.
In terms of album placement, that's a great opener.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually pulling up the stream in my headphones right now just to make sure that the sound is okay.
Everything is well. Everything is A-okay.
All right, I am gonna pull up the next song here. It's called Hot Stones. Hot Stones.
Reminds me of the Rolling Stones album Hot Rocks, which is a compilation album.
And they're called the Rolling
Here's your fun
Stones. Whoa.
Yeah.
Hot
Jokes.
Stones, Hot Rocks, Rolling Stones, Rolling Hot Stones.
Rolling Rocks.
Double Winter.
All that.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hot Stones.
Do it.
See stacks of lights, see you ride
stick around. Say you'll stick around.
All right. Any more thoughts?
So, the two things that jump out to me about this song. The first thing, because it just ended. The first song started slow and then got quicker. This one started quicker and then at the end got slow. But more importantly, I want to talk about during that, I guess we call it the chorus, and the layered vocals specifically. Now, I listen to a lot of pop music, and the way you typically layer vocals in pop music is you add above the main vocal line. Typically in a higher pitched voice. I think there's the one exception to that, I believe, is one of something that Camila Cabello does with Shawn Mendes and Senorita. At one point, I think one of her layers goes lower. But that one caught me off guard in a good way, having the male vocals far below the main line. And it's very, and the effects on them are very different. Not as much reverb on the male vocals that I can at least hear. But that caught me, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. You don't hear that often. It's actually quite nice and works very well. Also, the combination between the clean guitar when it's strumming and the distorted guitar. Now, normally when you switch from clean to distortion and mixing, a lot of things can go wrong and they can sound in completely different spaces. But that was done very well. It sounded like it was the same guitarist. They just hit their pedal and got distortion on it. So there was a lot of very good things in that I very much enjoyed. The drums. The drums are always sounding so tight, and the miking on them is so close and intimate. They're very intimate drums.
Yeah.
Which is maybe something weird to say. I don't know, but that's what's coming to me.
Who's the drummer?
That's Morgan McPeak.
I was looking that up. It's Morgan McPeak.
She's the one that did my album art.
Also did the cover design. She did this album art too.
Oh,
Yeah.
she fucked it up. God damn.
Yeah, I like that those lower vocals too. I thought that was a cool addition to that. Those lower harmony. Well, it was basically unison, like he sang in unison, but
right. I believe
just
I believe those
octave
were
lower or whatever.
octave layer because of the vocal
Yeah,
range.
That's cool. I think that was the guitar player dude. I forget his name.
Vittorio.
Yes.
I have their Bandcamp up. That's the only. I was very interested to see what their lineup was.
Yeah. Morgan and then, I mean, there's like a
violin.
Augusta,
That's what I'm hearing.
Plays violin.
Augusta Morrison on violin. So they have a varying amount of effects on that, and I'm out here saying it was a trumpet, and I'm the one with all the music
the
degrees.
effects on it were definitely like different. And it was Vittorio on guitar, Holly on bass, and she sings as well. She's like the lead vocalist.
Yo, I always have respect for people that can play and sing at the same time. And yes, Shannon.
Well, honestly, the people that can play bass and sing at the same time, like I've played bass in a punk band, and I'm not good at the bass, so like I wouldn't want to sing and play bass at the same time. It's just two, like melody lines happening at the same time.
Right.
I play chords on the guitar. I don't. Wanna hear "Sad Girl at the Rave"?
I was looking at that one. I think I'm looking through all of the other track names, and minus maybe one. That one stands out the most.
Yeah, like as far as like the names of it.
Names.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
Sad
track
Girl
names.
at the Rave.
And exoskeleton.
That's the other one I was looking at. Was
Yeah,
Exoskeleton.
I feel like that's
I was looking at that one too. But Sad Girl at the Rave. I'm curious to see which way they go with that
that's
imagery.
a very like Detroit thing. Sad girls at raves.
Yep.
I mean, I've been one of those girls at at raves before.
One of those girls.
I'm just imagining someone downtrodden staring down with a bunch of glow sticks in their
Yeah.
hand.
I just want to ask the chat
Just
really
gonna-
quick. How's the sound? Is it staying intact? Is the sound okay? I'm trying not to operate anything else on my computer, and as far as like doing any searches go, I'm only doing stuff on my phone because I don't want to mess with anything on my computer.
I'm hearing a couple of glitches, but nothing
Okay.
significant.
Trill said sounds good so
Okay,
far,
cool.
so
We'll take that.
Good
We'll take
deal.
that.
Good
Let's
deal.
go.
All right.
All right.
Song number 3. Let's hear it. Sad Girl at the Rave. Very relatable.
You often wonder if I'm telling lies. I send you thunder. You give me butterflies. The undead can smile now. They're asking, is everything alright? Yeah. Is everything going fine? Yeah. Is everything alright? Yeah. Is everything going fine? Yeah. You drag me under to like this kind of life. I ask for answers. You nod and say goodnight. The undead can smile now. They're asking, is everything alright? Is everything going fine? Yeah. Is everything alright? Yeah. Is everything going fine? Yeah.
I got kind of some doo-woppy vibes from that one.
Right, because of the tripled meter.
Yo, that was
Yeah.
nice. From the title, I didn't expect it to sound so. It was good. I didn't expect it. I expected it to sound
Like
a
you're
different
at a
way
rave?
because you always read titles. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Now,
this is like
one, the
smart. No, it was nice.
right, and the fact that it's a tripled meter as opposed to a duple one, because the first two were duples, so going to the third track of triple is refreshing. I was getting so when we get into the distortion,
Hold on
like
just
the
a second, guys. I'm
da,
going to pause you, and we're going to start over this Zoom call. I'm so sorry. It is glitching again. This is such a pain in the
all
butt.
good.
I swear to God.
Whatever works. Whatever
No
works.
more Zoom for me.
Happens to be here.
Uh-uh.
We here. Let's go.
Sorry, y'all. I just wanted to restart this chat so that way you can actually hear what people are saying.
There we go. Now I'm back.
All right, so let's see if this helps at all.
No, now we're in a different order. Now Shannon's on the
I'm
bottom.
on the bottom now.
Oh, just in the Zoom call.
Oh,
The Zoom call.
Because your camera's
Okay.
not turned on.
you guys are the same on my screen. Go ahead and talk a little bit, y'all.
Gonna just talk a little bit. Actually, you know what? While I'm talking, like, one, I was already mentioning like the triple meter, so that was a good change.
Mm.
But I heard it on mine. It sounds good. But the when the distortion guitar comes in, the da 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 da, I was getting slight Green Day vibes
Mm.
for whatever reason. But and the phaser or the flanger they had on the distorted guitar during the chorus was a nice touch and can very much relate to the rave element, I feel like. And there was one point right around after the 2-minute mark where her vocals were layered in unison, and it was a great effect, and it really caught my attention.
Yeah, I liked like the contrast of like the chorus and like the verses and stuff. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Morgan again.
But
Sorry, I'm like obsessed with her art because
no, I also tagged. I saw you trying to tag him in Facebook.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
tagged
they're-
them
cool.
in
they're out.
Facebook. It's Double Winter, so hopefully they can come in. Because these are like I'm loving what I hear so
Good
far.
deal. All right. Album review live stream. This is Double Winter's music, by the way. They're a local band. Shout out to them. And thank you for the person that requested them.
Was it Double Winter?
Maybe. I'm trying to keep it anonymous.
No, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But I specifically wanted to pick an album that I don't normally review, which is local,
Yeah.
unfortunately. One of the reasons why I started working in a venue was to get to more experience with just the local
Yeah, for
artists.
sure.
Right.
I've heard good things about like Willis Sound too. I know a few people that have like recorded there and stuff, and
Gotcha.
with that Ben Collins dude, and I've heard very good things just working
Okay.
there. So
Regardless, I'm excited to keep this train rolling. I want to see if we can't get
yeah,
through the
let's
album.
do it. Let's do it. Cool City. Cool City is the next song.
Walk through the water until you go under. Knew I saw you out there. Knew it'd be the same. Now with one eye open, will you open mine? Are there walls between us? Will you run and hide? Thought I saw you going. Thought I heard you cry. All it takes is knowing. Open wide into the ether until you go inside. Is my mind within you? Are we both to blame? Now with our half over, will you look inside? Is there God between us? Or will you be my guide? Thought I saw you going. Thought I heard you cry. All it takes is knowing. Open wide.
about you guys, but I got some like Spy vibes from that.
Yo, I was about to say like Spy. I was getting some. It was like I want like dark surf rock, which I guess is what Spy music would
Oh
be.
my god.
That's total Spy vibes.
Yo, so the solo in there hit some. It was hitting notes you didn't expect him to hit, and I was down for it. But it was in the very opening. It's not. So there's the main line that's happening, but I'm paying it in the very beginning, like dun 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 dun. But I'm specifically focusing on the line above that in the background because it's making such an interesting harmony. Like there's such interesting. It's. I'm trying to figure out what that is. I'm glad I'm not doing a pop analysis of this. It would take
Yeah.
forever. Dun dun. But it's and then the second one. That one that's so much higher above it. It's not an octave. It's something. It's some compound interval that I'd want to figure out if I had
Yeah.
more time. But another thing I appreciate is their subdivision of the 4/4 time. It's 2 sets of 3s and then a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Which is a good way to divide. Like so you can still dance to it because it's still easy, but it's an interesting subdivision. That sort of thing. So I love the subdivision of such a common time
Yeah,
signature.
definitely some surf rocky stuff going on, some Spy stuff.
But it's like it's a dark
Spy,
surf rock.
Spy music. Yeah.
It's Cool City.
It
It is
Cool
cool
City.
city. I was about to say it fit the vibe. It definitely fit the. That was crazy.
Oh god.
I love that track. Check the chat.
I know. I saw that. I saw that.
Yo,
Oh god.
I love that shit so much.
The next song is No One's Better. No One's Better.
I'm excited.
Is it supposed to be like No One Is Better?
That's what the apostrophe would
Yeah.
imply.
No one's better.
Or is
No
it
one is
like
better.
one's like as in like the ownership?
Ooh. Well,
Maybe
there's only one way to find out.
Only one's way to find it.
Wait, what's the one way? Oh,
Listen to it.
Listen to it.
Here we go. No One's Better.
What did I say to you, my baby?
Got more
Make
doo-wop.
you run and hide.
Absolutely.
Think about lately. Want you in my life. Oh, I tried to deny the fact that you were mine. Standing side by side, we wrote the line. No one's better off alone. Oh, can't sleep and can't stay awake. Right when you don't want to fight, someone calls you out into the night. I guess we're better off alone.
Hey. Yeah, I'm getting very those like like early 60 doo-wop vibes happening there.
Yeah, it's because of the triples. It's some of the lines don't expect. You have a pre. I can't talk. It's defying expectations because my ear thinks the melodic and the various harmonies are going to do one thing, but then they don't, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. Also, anytime there's an effect on the main vocals, it's very apparent, and it creates like a story. Like, and there's that one point near the end where like the vocalist and the guitarist were having a back and forth. But it's everything seems well placed. Everything has meaning. If something's happening with something, there's a reason for it,
Mm.
or at least it sounds like that. Also, it's from the lyrics, no one is better off alone. So we found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's I may be tripping, but I love how, or it seems how like the album naturally progressed onto that sound. You know what I mean?
Right. It all
Like everything's good. It started off like very, like you were saying, it was a certain type of way, and then it naturally just wavily progressed into doo-woppy, but still maintained that same like core sound. So I may be tripping, but it naturally progressed in that direction.
and this is the middle of the album too.
Right. So it's like, yo, that's
It's a
crazy.
good sitting
Yeah.
point. It's like when you go on a roller coaster, it's always like the slowest point. When
Yep,
you get
and
up
then
here,
it
then it
just-
slows down. So by that logic, little bit of danger,
Yeah.
Hey, let's do it.
which is the second longest song on the album.
Yeah, a little bit of danger. We'll see what happens
Oh, wow.
here. You know, this might be the breaking.
I could be
point
right.
here.
I'm testing the theory
I'm
that that's
excited.
exactly what the album is going to do.
I'm excited. Let's
All
see.
right, little bit of danger. Here we go. Double winter.
See you walking through the doorway. Couldn't help but stare. Said it didn't matter anyway. Another cross to bear.
What they say to you.
Watch your back, watch your back. Want you back, everybody know. Watch your back, watch your back. Want you back, everybody know. Took a break from the fast lane. steady, nothing's gonna save me. Life is all a game.
What they say to you.
Watch your back, watch your back. Want you back, everybody knows. Ooh. Watch your back, watch your back. Want you back, everybody knows.
All right. So one thing I will say, there was that little Nancy Sinatra type middle section there. I got some boots are made for walking kind of vibes or something in there.
I like so one and someone's posted this in the chat. Yes, the theory was correct. We were in for that trip, and it's great because this abrasiveness, this aggressiveness, this intensity. They've teased this before in the first half of the album with like the distorted guitar. So to finally have this payoff that has been teased at before in multiple songs is very much similar to the payoff you get when you go down the roller coaster. And just the hi hat, it's an eighth note or a 16th note pattern, but it has a weak beat and a strong beat and creates that like funk. It makes that song like that. There's that motion forward. I'm stealing this from a friend, my friend Jen. She has once said like it's a swagger song. Like there was a confident aggressiveness, a confident intensity.
Yeah, like I
it's
can
like
see
they've been
myself
holding-
walking down the street and thinking like, yeah, today's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna put on my Ray Bans and get the heck out of town.
Which makes it work so well because, like I said, they were teasing it to finally have this payoff and to have it done so confidently is
Yeah.
fantastic. And especially because this song is taking us into the back half of the album. We only got 3 more songs, and the next 2 are awfully short. They're both under 3 minutes.
I got some 90s vibes from like the whole song in itself besides like that westerny middle section there, but
right.
yeah, everything else pretty 90s sounding, you know.
I got a little bit of funk,
I was getting funk. I was getting like I got Shaft vibes for
Yeah.
a split second.
like Karang Bing. Hey, shout out to Shaft.
Yeah.
No, I like that. That's why I pointed that out, is because I love it when, like, no matter what artist, whether it's rock or rap or whatever, I love it when they like take you on that journey of in their albums, especially these days, because
Right.
people are making shorter albums, so they're making it more. It's just putting you through a journey more, because it's like, since you're here for this little time, I'm going to create a whole like adventure for you. So I noticed that, so that's why I love that. So just shout
Yeah.
out to this.
Shout out to local band
real.
Double Winter.
Thanks.
We're listening to their album right now. If you're just tuning in, I noticed I got some new viewers. So if you're just tuning in, we're listening to Double Winter's album, It's About Our Hearts, and our guest on the show this evening is Maestro, aka Dave Levy. Yes.
There you go.
All right. Next
right.
song is Howlin'. Are you guys still up for listening to the whole album?
Oh, we only got 3 more.
All
We
right.
have to at this point.
Let's
Good
do
deal.
it. We are here.
What do you say when it's time to hide away? How do you choose? Are you even in the mood? Why do we wait when it's all too hard to break? How do you say we should all just hide away? Oh, 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 oh. How What does it take when it's time to hesitate? How do you choose that it's me you're talking to? Why do we wait when it's all too hard to break? How do you say we should all just hide away? Oh, 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 oh. How
Yeah, those were some interesting little drum fills that happened in there.
Yo, the clarity on that hi-hat, though. I keep talking about, like, the production and, like, the mastering, but, like, the clarity and all those hi-hat rolls and the dexterity on it. Oh,
Yeah, the
God.
production definitely stands out on this album, so that's cool.
Also, I still would have never guessed that was a violin, especially because there were some more noise elements in this track, and you can read. And I'm trying to I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I could have
I
figured
think
out that was a
Augusta
violin, but-
plays an electric violin, if I'm not mistaken. I think
would-
she switched
that
it
would-
up,
that would
but
make a lot of
I am not entirely sure. Let me see if there's any like recent like Instagram photos of her playing the violin or something.
We got 2 left. and The next one's the yeah.
Yeah,
short
let's listen
Rodeo.
to some rodeo. You want to hear some rodeo?
Sure.
rodeo.
Where the odds you see in the magazine, flying on a wave supersonic ray, swimming through a sea of mediocrity, running everywhere. I don't really.
I don't sleep anymore. Just lay on the floor
Did you hear that like little? I think that was good.
Yo, she would never turn up on a violin like
Yeah, if there was any point where I would have guessed it was violin, it would be in this
Yeah,
song.
yeah, that was like definitely some fiddle action there.
Fiddler on the fucking roof.
Oh god. But I was raising my eyebrows at how short this was, but it works. It works. Alright, we're still glitching out.
Oh, are we glitching again? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Once more, I'm so sorry, everybody.
Maybe the
This is
last
so
time, too.
annoying. You guys can hear me sing a little bit, if you want me to sing. Hey, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. There's two of me. Hey, Shannon, how are ya? Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, there's another one. Here he comes. Here he comes. Ooh,
Sure.
there we go.
And
Hey,
we're
you
back.
switched on my
Hopefully for
switched
the
on my
last time.
chat. Let's see if I can I'm gonna move your logo down to you now.
Oh, we joined
Yeah.
in a different order.
Yeah,
I just looked
man.
on the-
I'm
I just
not
looked on the
Maestro,
screen.
but shout out to Maestro.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
But yeah, so I was like I was saying, I don't know if that got through, but I was raising my eyebrows and how short that was, but it works. And the fiddle run helped a lot with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that works. And I guess it makes sense for a rodeo, right?
Right.
I like how
I'm
the
so
back
glad
half
it's
is,
turned up like that.
the first half was sticking to the clean guitar sound, but the second half very much seems to be the distorted one, and a lot more male vocals this
Yeah.
time.
Mm.
Oh, I got kicked off on Facebook.
I just saw.
Yeah, that's right.
I watched it happen live.
Let's do it.
Just got kicked off. Sorry, Facebookers.
Well, they're gonna have to go listen to the last song on
Yeah,
their own.
I gotta go listen to it on Twitch now.
All right, so yeah, this is the last song. Is this the first time that we've got through an album?
Yeah, it is, and it stinks
right.
too because we couldn't get through it on Facebook, But hey, we're still on Twitch. Twitch is meant for streaming. Go on Twitch.
Still
Go
here.
on Twitch.
And the good thing about reviewing local bands is they won't copyright strike
Right,
us.
exactly.
All right, so yeah, Exoskeleton.
Oh.
Just the one I want to hear.
Wrapping it up.
You wasted fast, thought it would last, erase the past.
Awesome. All right. How about you guys just say a bunch of nonsense really quick to make sure you're not glitching out, so that way I can like.
Wibbledy wobbledy, gibbledy goobledy, interior, crocodile, alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
That is my favorite freestyle ever.
All right.
It sounds good on my end. So that song works on multiple levels as a closer. One, just the repetition of "See you when you come back home."
Yeah.
It starts off slow to kind of give you breath from the energy that happened before, but it still gives you that payoff of the big finale near the end, where they do the double time near the end. You get all that energy back for one last hurrah, and then it ends like
Yeah.
that. This song is the song worked well, but as an ender, just on so many levels, and it just kind of lends credence to the fact that this album as a whole is just so well constructed. It has such a clear peak and arc to it that it works so well. It was very like just a lot of attention was a lot of attention to detail was made in the whole construction of this album. I don't know which songs were released as singles, if there were even any at all, but a lot of detail and a lot of care and passion went into this, and you can hear it, whether it's in the little details of the intervallic content of the layering, the various effects put on the violin that made me think it's not a violin, or just like some of the lyrical content, and just it's the small things that make this such a unique album, in my opinion. And it's stuff like this that you don't get when you listen to some of the bigger people these days. Nothing against some of the larger artists, but this attention to detail really only comes from like some of these like homegrown local acts, and when you really dig through it, it can be so much more rewarding. I feel like it is inevitable that I'm going to review Taylor Swift's Folklore, and I'm sure it's going to be great, and I'm sure it's going to be like you went to a good steakhouse and you got like a great slab of meat, and it's a well done steak, and you'll enjoy it. But like this kind of thing is when you go to that mom and pop like slider joint, and it's just like they've been making this stuff for like years, and just everything is measured out, and there's just nothing like it. And you walk in and you feel like your family, and it's a more intimate experience than what I get with a lot of the larger album reviews that I do. And it was one of the reasons why I wanted to do as soon as you said it was local, that's what made me come to this. But this was a great listen. I'm glad we got through the whole album.
I thought that was a great ending to the song, and you could definitely tell, like with the material that they have and stuff, that they put it in the right order for sure. I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's well constructed.
I appreciate,
but it feels genuine.
I appreciate all of your comments and insight and stuff on the album so far, Maestro. Yeah, or Dave, or wait, who are you?
Whatever you go by, man.
I am just the maestro. I professionally listen to music.
Yeah, just give it up for Dave. Give it up for Maestro. Give it up for Double Winter.
Here.
Makes sense.
One last thing I forgot to plug as we wrap up here. If you really like what I do, watch what I do on YouTube. And if you like it, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Maestro Studios. So if you like what I do and you want to support me doing it, do that. And also go buy this album. This was a fantastic listen. Double Winters, go to Double Winters Bandcamp, stream them on Spotify. This was a fantastic listen.
Definitely go check out their music. Local band here. Overall, both of your opinions. Let's hear it on the album. Like, I just want to kind of hear. Let's wrap up what we think about it here.
Dave, you want to go first?
This was a fantastic album. It was rewarding to listen through this. It was nice, and I didn't know what I was going to get. I mean, Sam had Caligula, Black Hottie had Chloe and Haley, so I didn't know what I was getting into. I'm so glad I picked this album.
Good deal.
This was a nothing against Jacob Collier, Herbie Hancock, but like they didn't need my opinion on their music. But this was a rewarding experience. That's what I'll say on this. I love this album. It's a great album.
I haven't heard Jacob Collier's new album yet.
It's a trip.
I bet it is. I've heard a couple singles off of it, but I haven't heard the whole thing. I just heard like the singles that he released.
It's Jacob Collier. It's gonna be crazy.
Obviously, I've heard
In a good
Mr.
way, but,
Hands by Herbie Hancock for sure.
Right, that's a classic.
And I haven't heard the other one. I haven't heard Option 4. But I have heard the new Jerry Paper album, and that's pretty interesting too. But yeah, awesome pick.
I enjoyed it. Like I said before, I love it when, like Dave so beautifully put at the end, is you get that from a lot of local industry, whatever you want to call it, artists. You know, you get a lot of that attention to detail and that, and I think it's because they, not trying to say that the bigger artists don't have passion, but everybody knows it's a clear difference between like you are a millionaire making hit records for the charts, passion, and I'm just trying to make amazing music, passion.
Right.
It's a difference
Right.
between it. I'm sorry. And I think it's dope, like when artists take you on. I'm always gonna say this. I love when they take you on a journey because you can kind of hear what they're trying to do, every emotion or most emotions that they went through. You feel what they want you to feel, even if that's not exactly your vibe. This was my vibe, but even if it's not exactly your vibe, you still have a human understanding of the music. So I love any artist that just takes you on a journey and just makes you feel like right there with them. So I love it.
I appreciate both of these like perspectives too. I feel like Maestro delivered a very like, you know, musically analytical perspective, and then like you kind of delivered a more emotionally analytical perspective of it. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
For sure.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
I'm glad.
Shan, what was your opinion?
Yeah,
Shan?
I thought it was very well produced. Definitely very well produced. I've heard great things about that studio and stuff, like I said, and obviously, like the people in Double Winner are really cool. And overall, I thought it was a great release on their end. I've heard like other albums of theirs before, and they keep putting out like really consistent content, and it was great. Yeah.
So go buy this album. Everyone, go do it. Go buy it.
Yeah.
Go stream it.
But
Get the numbers up there. Get this to chart so that I can review it on my channel.
Awesome.
Dave is selfish.
I'm just trying.
I'm just joking. I am just joking.
Oh God! But no, I had a lot of
Awesome.
fun doing this.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on,
being
guys.
here. And thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. There was quite a few people in here at one point, so I'm very thankful for that. So
Yeah,
I
but it's
apologize for my
You're
lateness. I was with family,
You're all good.
so my
it's all
bad.
good.
I literally ran up the stairs and I was like, I text Shannon and I was like, yeah,
Oh,
here I go.
yeah.
Oh my God, I feel so bad because usually I'm mad early
No,
on
that's
time.
all right. No, that's good. All right. Well, thank you so much, y'all. Thank you, Dave. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and stay tuned for some updates on my social media and stuff about who our next guest is gonna be, and DM me some albums you want us to review. All right.
Well,
I'll see you guys later.